Hey everybody, it's Chef Mike here with Green Vegetarian Cuisine, and today we're going to be touring one of our local Asian markets here in San Antonio. And Tim's is probably the biggest, most accessible one here in San Antonio. We have several, and whatever city you're in, I'm sure you've got a great Asian market there too. Tim's is owned by an ethnically Chinese family, so they have a lot of Chinese, a lot of Vietnamese, a little bit of Korean, a little bit of Japanese and Thai ingredients. A lot of Asian markets are tilted in one particular direction or another. And this one, like I said, has a lot of stuff across the board. They even brought in some Caribbean stuff and everything too. A lot of great produce and everything. So I'm going to give you a little tour of it here. A lot of people are a little intimidated by going in an Asian market. It's hard to read a lot of the ingredients and it's hard to know what a lot of things are. But this is a very vegan friendly place, a very gluten-free friendly place. We always have to remember that that the Asian cultures, whether it's Chinese or Japanese or Korean, they've been doing vegan for thousands of years. So let's go inside and take a look. This is Vanessa, and she's one of the owners here at Tim's, and she's going to show us a little bit of some of the interesting stuff that they have here in the produce section.
No problem. There's a lot of things that you want fresh when you're cooking unique dishes in Asia, and so things like banana leaves you can find almost in any international market frozen, but it's rare to find it fresh, and so we carry it fresh as well as frozen for those that need something that has a
These are great for tamales too.
Yep. You can use it for South American, for Venezuelan hallacas. For the Vietnamese, they make a lot of tet with it, so like their Vietnamese style dumpling. The other thing that's one of my favorites that we carry now is curry leaves, and I don't know if you can see it through the wrapper. Curry leaves, so there's a misnomer around like curry powder is a thing. It's not. And so the curry leaf has a very unique floral aroma to it, and it's just beautiful. We also have kaffir lime leaf. Everybody wants them because you can't really get a plant in Texas because of some California laws, but we do sell kaffir lime leaves, so we get it from a supplier there. We have the Thai chilies that people also want.
Those are super spicy.
Super spicy. Great for infusing vinegars, oils, any sort of savory sauce for a dipping, or just slice up one and eat it whole or stir fry with it.
Fresh turmeric, that's really good stuff
Yep.
too.
For all of you that are into anti-inflammatories and you need something fresh, we carry fresh turmeric here. We also have fresh galangal, which is almost 95% when you find it, it's dried or ground up and really has no flavor. And most of your recipes will say, if you can't find it, just use ginger. Ginger and galangal do not have the same flavor profile, but if you don't use it and you don't know what that flavor is, you won't miss it, but we do carry it fresh. We also carry fresh wood ear mushroom. It is a black fungus that grows on trees in kind of moist areas, and so we have it fresh as well as dried, but in our produce section we have it. We are starting to carry a lot more mushrooms. We're clearly sold out of a lot of our mushrooms. We have fresh shiitake, fresh king mushrooms. We have the mayatakis, the shimejis, a lot of the enoki mushrooms as well. We carry a lot of mushrooms because fundamental in the Lunar New Year, because it means to grow and to prosper. We also carry an abundance of different herbs for Southeast Asian cooking. So from the cilantro to some fresh mints to Thai basil.
This is used in Costa Rican cooking as well. Yeah, it's used as a good stir fry. And then this chayote squash.
That's right.
Is there another name for it that I'm missing? Merliton is like the English name for it, but very underused ingredient here, except for like live cultures. I love this stuff. It's a great sliced and steamed, or even like dipped in a batter and fried, but a very hearty texture, really cool.
My mom uses it. My mom's famous for making like soups and elixirs to make you feel better, and so she'll make that when we're not feeling well, like if we feel hot inside, you know, yin and yang for Eastern medicine. So when you're hot inside, you make cooling soups, and so she'll use that to make some cooling soups. We have lots of different types of radishes. So we have our Korean radishes, we have our Japanese radishes, we have the little baby short nugget kind of radish. This is the Japanese daikon one. They're longer. sometimes skinnier. We also sell jicama. We have kabocha squash as well. They're a lot the starchier one. We have lotus root right here. Also a big item for the Chinese New Year here. And when you bite into, you can eat it fresh. You thinly slice of the mandolin. You can make it in soups. You can use it instead of water chestnut for texture and a filling. You can use it in stir fry. And when you bite it, what's cool when I was a kid was you bite it and you pull and it looks like spider webs coming out of your mouth. We also carry banana blossom. And banana blossom is an interesting produce item. And so when you look inside, there's these little things inside. That, it's like hunting for saffron. That's what they want. But they also use the rest of the blossom to make salad, so they thinly slice it. And they can stir fry it or they put it in a vinaigrette. We have baby taro root right here, or small taro root. So you just boil it, and when you eat it, it's a very soft little potato. This one's the larger version of it. We call it big taro root. I use the big taro root to make sweet desserts in our Chinese customs, and so with tapioca and coconut milk.
Right, make chips too.
That's right.
And it's good in the stews too. Yeah.
Yep.
Like I like both of these in stews.
The yucca
and some.
We have a lot of ginger. Usually we have 2 bins full of that, and we're sold down on that for the new year. We also carry plantains for a lot of our customers because we have cross-country customers. So not just Asian, but we also have a lot of Hispanic, a lot of Latin, Central American, and African customers that come in. We have the Japanese yam. So when you look at it, it's purple. And then, I probably shouldn't show you this. If you scratch it, it's white. That's how you know it's a Japanese yam. It's a lot drier, starchier. You can see that they're white. They're very sweet, but they are a lot starchier and drier potato. This one is the purple yam, popularly known as ube when you cook it. And so when you cut this open, it's purple on the inside. It's not a purple potato. It is a purple yam. It is delicious on its own. You can steam it, boil it, roast it, and then just peel it and eat it that way. A lot of like Filipino, Asia Pac countries, they will just, they'll put some coconut milk on it and a little bit of salt and eat it as a dessert, but it's amazing just on its own. I made some Hot Pockets, or Pop-Tarts with this stuff. It was pretty good. And empanadas with it too. Leafy greens, let's get some vitamin A, maybe some calcium in. Greens is a big deal in a lot of Asian cultures because it adds a lot of vitamins. It's not normal to pop a pill in those countries, and so they eat a lot of fresh vegetables that they grow themselves and they grow to sell. So gailan, which is Chinese broccoli, is a very popular one that you'll see in a lot of restaurants. It is a thicker stem, just like a broccoli, and it's got a hardier leaf, just like a collard. And then steaming it, boiling it, stir frying it.
That stuff's expensive at some of the Asian restaurants.
We also have winter melon. So winter melon, if you didn't know it and you came across it, you'd think you were in a watermelon patch, except that it's fuzzy. And it's kind of got like a little like white waxy coating on it. We call that winter melon, and it is a savory or sweet squash, basically. And so we use it for soups, mix it with some Chinese black mushrooms, and maybe some dried shrimp, or any other thing to add some umami flavors to it. And you boil it and you eat it. It's a really nice cooling soup. Some people also turn it into a sweet tea, and so they candy it, and then they boil it in hot water, and then they drink it cold or hot as a sweet tea. Carry the basics, everyone. You need cilantro and green onions.
Yeah.
If you don't know what to buy, you just buy those things and you're set. And you can almost say you're Asian. We have small bok choy or baby bok choy right here as well. We also carry Taiwanese cabbage. So if you feel this, Mike, it's not as heavy and dense for the size, right? And so it's a lighter, kind of more delicate cabbage. And as I peel it, I think it would make for great cabbage rolls. And steaming anything else, or shredding it up and making like just a really light saute, or maybe a wilted salad with it. And so this one sells like hotcakes with our customers. They just love it. This one is another very popular green vegetable. It's called yao choy, and some people call it Chinese spinach. They call a lot of things Chinese spinach. This one looks a lot like the Chinese broccoli, but it's got a more tender, thin stem. It's got a little bit more of a bitter flavor to it, but it's a lot more delicate.
It's all of that edible.
Yes, the whole thing is edible. So what we usually do is we cut it in about 1.5 inch pieces, rinse it, blanch it real quick, and then quick stir fry with a little sesame oil and garlic, and if you want salt or vegetarian oyster sauce on there, just very light. That's all you need. It's very, very good. It's also great in soups. Oh, by the way, that gailan over here is popular in a Thai flat rice noodle stir fry that they make. Then we have baby canton bok choy, and we call this Nayu bok choy. And so it looks like what most people recognize as bok choy, which is a white stalk but really big. But these come in little baby format. Very delicate, very tender. Most of the time you cook it whole like this, but you need to wash them really well because down in these little reservoirs they catch a lot of sand and dirt because they grow in a lot of sandy soil. This is tung ho, like a chrysanthemum type leaf, and it's got a very pungent herbaceous flavor and aroma to it. And most people use this in soups. And when you're doing hot pot, which is all over Asia, they use this a lot because it really just kind of brings out a nice earthiness to the soup, but yet bright at the same time. So bright and earthy, which is contradictory, but it does both. Everyone knows Napa, Chinese cabbage. Right here, we got tons of it. Sometimes small, sometimes we got heads that will last you for like a month. But it is a very hearty vegetable, great for any kind of cooking or non-cooking. We've got watercress. So it's not the hydroponic style. This one looks a little bit different. And stir fry this, wash it very, very well. Then you can stir fry this with anything really umami, like miso would be good. Just straight garlic would be awesome. Or when you make soup, just throw it in there, and it's beautiful. It's got kind of a licorice, a slight sweet licorice flavor to it, but I don't want to turn people off. It's not really licorice. It's amazing, and it's also great as just a salad.
Yeah, my wife's Brazilian, and that is the salad green.
Yeah. Got a little pepper take to it. Lately, this has been my favorite. This is a Taiwanese spinach, and looks like a spinach. I'll open it up for you. Got pointed leaves, very delicate, very thin stems, just like a spinach, and it is not as astringent as American spinach, and it's just amazing. What I don't have here to show you is Malabar spinach. We do carry that as well, and that's a
we grow that in front of the restaurant. Yeah. It grows really easy.
I don't know. I love that stuff.
It has a little sliminess to it.
Yeah, so some people don't like it because of the texture.
I'm not a big fan of it. It's nice. It's beautiful in the garden.
It's great for hot and sour soup, Vietnamese hot and sour soup.
I haven't done it like that.
Yeah, or just stir fry. Very good for the digestive system because of that slimy nature. That's what they say. It helps with the gut. We've got snow pea leaves. So snow pea leaves. This is what we call the older one. So when you leave it on the vine just a little bit more, you can see that it's got like a little straw nature to it. Just wash it really well. And it's kind of like asparagus, right? Sometimes if you find one that's a little too hard, then you pitch it. But this one was very tender. It broke pretty well. And then you just rinse it and just, again, light and easy on the sautés. A lot of these vegetables don't need a whole lot of help. You want to eat it for what it is. We also carry fresh bamboo shoots. So one of my good friends from college grew her mom grew bamboo shoots in her backyard. And then you peel this back and you get to a very tender meat of the shoot. And you can eat it raw. You cook it, you blanch it, and then you can eat it raw. You can use it stir fries and soups. It's got a very sweet, astringent, and briny note, but it's very fresh. It's not like any canned flavor that most people are used to, but it's amazing. A lot of my customers use it just for soup. They like to cut it into quarters and just drop it in soup and eat it like that. Yeah. So it adds like a meaty texture to things. We carry sprouts. We have bean sprouts. We have soybean sprouts. How do you tell the difference? Soybean sprouts have a big head to it. Mung bean sprouts or regular bean sprouts don't. These come from the mung bean, which is a green skinned bean, and soybean sprouts come from the soybean, which is a lot bigger. And usually when it's in dried format, it's kind of a yellowy, milky color. We do carry snow peas. We also carry sugar snap peas on occasion when they're good. And then we have lots of different chives. The one I have today is the tender green chive. This is in the garlic family. and it's very delicate. You might mistake it for a green onion. Very great in an omelet or stir fry with just, you can eat it raw in your spring rolls or the summer rolls. So the non-fried appetizers, just rinse it off really well because it does grow in a sandy, dirty, watery area, and just use that, and it adds a really nice pungency to it. I like to stir fry it with shrimp, and then some people put it in minced proteins like tofu, and you can fry them, have little tofu balls, or you can fill it into to make a steamed bun as well, and it's really good.
These are like a Chinese New Year thing too, the long beans?
Long beans are, because anything long is kind of symbolic of a long life. You want a healthy, long life. So that's why we eat lots of noodles, green beans. You want things that are long. We do cut these so that we can eat them. But snake beans, long beans are very, very popular across lots of Asian countries. You can boil them, you can eat them raw. If you finely slice them, you can eat them raw, make like a little raw salad out of them. Mustard greens here, we have one version. We also have a skinny version too. This one is great for stir fry, for soups, whatever. It's very pungent. If you're into like mustard greens, this is definitely in that family, and you'll get a lot out of it. A lot of texture, yes, sweet, peppery flavor to that. We also have fresh lemongrass as well. And my mom will probably get mad at me for telling you this, but on occasion, if you want, and you only need one stalk, stick the other two stalks in a planter and it'll start to take root.
Oh, really?
And then you'll have your own lemongrass. Most lemongrass, so you only use the bottom half of it. The rest of it you discard or throw in the compost. If you buy it frozen, they usually just smash it all together, and it's perfectly fine because you know how much they puree it. You just eat it, it'll be fine. This is Chinese celery. A lot of people use this in soup. A lot of people use this because they believe it has better nutritional value than American celery, and so but they use this in a lot of soups, and they eat it like they pickle it or do a salt pickle on that. So just wash it really well, cut them into sticks.
That's like regular celery.
Yeah, it tastes like celery. When you eat it, it's clearly a celery.
Yeah.
I just prefer, I guess, just growing up eating like an American celery stick with their water coming out of my mouth. This is a regular bok choy. So you can see how it was different than the other one. This one's long, slender. Wash it really well, cut it into bite-sized pieces or whatever. If you want to slice it into chiffonade and make it a salad, you can do that. This is what you saw earlier that I had cooked in that vegetarian dish. This is the fresh lily bulb. So when you open it up, you'll see it looks like a clove of garlic.
Yeah, that's what I thought it was.
But it's not. It's sweet and crunchy. So you wash it really well. I peel it, the base off, and I just separate the leaves from it, and you can eat it. It's sweet, kind of creamy and crunchy. So you can eat it raw. You can eat it stir fried. You can make it just soup. We don't carry. It's usually a seasonal thing around the Chinese or the Lunar New Year holiday, but some places in more densely populated Asian communities will carry it year-round on that. And you can make a sweet soup with that.
And you have these in there?
Yes. We have ginkgo nuts, so we have them in the shell, and then we also have them shelled and pre-cooked right here. So this thing, if you're from Boston, they grow everywhere.
Oh, really?
In Cincinnati, there's an arbor area that also has them everywhere. And they just drop like crazy. They stink. But they're awesome. They're very good for memory. And so when I was a kid, I had to shell a lot of these for my mom. And then she'd make soup, and it was all worth it because this is a creamy, beautiful, kind of milky soy flavor. It's very, very good. And you can eat those savory or sweet. We have two different kinds of eggplant. Differences that come into play is the texture of the flesh as you cook them, and maybe a slight difference in how bitter, because eggplants have a bitter note to them. And then this is the Chinese eggplant here. And then we also carry bitter melon or bitter gourd right here. You know, this will just get flooded with new things, and then whatever seasonal, we bring that in. And we try and help our customers, you know, make what they need to be making during that time of the year, because everyone has their own customs for that. And so it's not just our Chinese customs, but it's, you know, everyone's customs. And so it's a lot of fun. We used to only have one little thing, you know, 30 years ago, and it was all just those eggs, not even all those. And now, like, just to watch my parents and see what they've done and how much they've grown, it's pretty amazing. You should take some.
Thank you.
You're very welcome.